Hello, my lovely peaches. I am walking to work for my second day back at my old job. The old job that I had at the vegan restaurant January, February, March, and then it shut down. It didn't really shut down, but it was just like crazy. There was no way I could work there. So 5 months later, and I'm back, this time in the front taking orders instead of in the back cooking, which is amazing. So much better. So tonight is the new moon. A new moon. And Chani Nichols is this amazing astrologist I get horoscopes. So I read the horoscope for me today based on the new moon, August 18th, 2020. And there was an interesting part in it. She says, when others need a timeout, you don't wait around. And you don't offer yourself to those who cannot follow through and offer themselves to you. I'm paraphrasing a little. And she also said something about you are not ashamed to learn and grow in public. Again, paraphrasing. Not her exact words, but I don't have to walk so fast. I left enough time so that I didn't have to walk at a constant fast clip. It's a 32-minute walk, 35-minute walk. So I gave myself 40 minutes. Have to be there at 12:30. It's 12:05. So I thought that was amazing and on point, as her horoscopes sometimes are. And all the videos that I've been editing that I took over the last week and two, all about loving a specific person, and also knowing that believing you can have a specific person who doesn't want you is actually lack of self-worth and lack of self-love and lack of loving the other. Because when you really love someone, you want them to be happy and you want them to have what they want to have for themselves in their life. When you love someone, you don't want them in a relationship that they don't want. And that's the tricky truth. Even if it's you that they don't want. I keep hearing Lizzo's song. Hair toss, check my nails. Baby, how you doing? Feel good as hell. And then she says, if he don't want you anymore, then walk your fine ass out the door. Something like that, I think she says. And that's the truth. That's what I was saying that night. I was taking videos and it was really dark. And I may or may not share them, even though I spent hours editing them. And the point I was really trying to get to was that any feelings or thoughts or belief systems that say, I can have this person who doesn't want me, is a lack of self-worth and a lack of self-love and a lack of loving the other. And as I was explaining, That's not to say you never go back with an ex. That's not to say an ex who left never comes back around and decides that they want you again. But what it is saying is that you don't calibrate yourself in your life and in your love life toward someone who's decided they don't want you. In my opinion, of course, that's what all of this is, my opinion. My opinion, which says if that person is really the right person for you, then you focusing on them and getting them back is actually not what's going to bring them back. What will bring them back, if they're meant for you, if they're meant to come back to you, is you focusing on yourself, doing all you need to do, moving forward, living your life, not waiting around. The thing is, if deep inside you believe that you're going to get them back, the thing is, when you focus in your mind and your heart and your soul, your body, that, oh, I'm moving on, I'm doing what I need to for me, but I'm all doing it, I'm doing all of this so I can get them back, so I can win them back, so that they'll come back to me, so that they'll need me again, so they'll see how great I am and how great we are together. Then I really believe that all that energy is actually a desperation. Desperation disguised as strength. Desperation disguised as, oh, I'm moving on, I'm fine without you. But really, I'm actually obsessed and fixated. And I have not moved on. And I don't intend to move on. I intend to do everything to get this person back. Even if you're not in any contact with them, even if you don't even speak on the phone or in person or text or follow each other on social media. Bracelets. And then I got these. And it's almost 15 minutes. Even if you're not following each other, that doesn't mean that you're not focusing everything you're doing in the hopes and the wishes and the dreams and the fantasies and the intentions and the goals to get them back. And what I truly believe is that that energy keeps them away. And now I'm talking about healthy, loving, uplifting, positive relationships. I'm not talking about narcissists and codependent or people who don't love themselves. Because there are people who will go back to you from begging. There are people who are going to be impressed and There are people who will go back to you from begging. There are people who will be impressed and swayed by your seeming devotion to them. But the problem with that, if someone is swayed by your obsessive fixation on them, then most likely they're not healthy either. It's like this guy I dated briefly, like, oh my God, like how long ago was that? Like almost 20 years ago. And he had gotten out of this relationship with someone who every time either one of them was out with someone else, they would obsessively call each other and harass each other out of jealousy and like, who are you with? What are you doing? When are you coming back? And then in the brief moments that, we were dating, there was this one night I went out with my girlfriend and he called. I was like, oh, that's sweet. He called again. I'm like, okay. He called another time. I'm like, dude, I'm with my friend. Like, oh, I'll go this way. Like I said, I'm with my friend. Why do you keep calling? Like once, fine. Twice, 3 times. Okay, now you're like being really fucking annoying. And he was like, basically he was like, you're not jealous? I don't know. I'm not even telling the story. That was one time and I was like, this is very annoying. Then there was another time where, I don't know, he went out with his friends or something. And I'm like, have fun. And he was like, what do you mean? You're not jealous? I'm like, why would I be jealous? That's totally ridiculous. And of course he went back to the other girl because that's what he craved. And that's what she gave him. And that's what she craved. And that's what he gave her. Was this mutual insecurity, this mutual intense jealousy. Oof, something smells awful. And I knew, I was like, this is bullshit. I'm not into that. Like, obviously I had my own insecurities and my own issues, but overly jealous boyfriend, that was always a turn off. And I'm like, that's not love. That's sick insecurity. And I'm not playing that game with you. So, that didn't last very long. But it was a lesson. I understood, like, oh, some people are like that. And it's like Marissa Peers. I was watching a video of hers yesterday, and she said, if you're really needy and you find someone who's also really needy, now when I say needy, I mean you have unmet needs, but you reach for them in an unhealthy way. And she said, if there's 2 needy people, I need you, then that can work. But it never works if it's just one person who's like that. And of course, that's not ultimately healthy anyway. All right, now I'm getting too close to stores and people. So just sharing more that I feel really grateful for myself that I'm really learning to love myself and have self-worth, and to reflect that in my relationships. Okay, bye.